Even when you are physically alone, you are rarely in silence. A podcast plays in the background. Music fills every quiet moment. Motivational videos remind you to push harder, wake earlier, do more. Noise has become normal. Busyness has become a badge of honor. And constant stimulation has been mistaken for growth. Everyone seems to have advice for you. Hustle harder, be more disciplined, fix yourself, upgrade your life. And yet, quietly, something inside you feels tired. Not just physically tired, not even mentally tired, something deeper, a kind of exhaustion that sleep does not fix, a fatigue that motivation cannot cure. Soul exhaustion. Here is what almost no one says. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is absolutely nothing. Not quitting, not giving up, just stopping. Silence, real silence, not the absence of noise, but the presence of stillness. And silence may be the most underrated healing tool we have. Think about this honestly. When was the last time you sat in complete silence? No phone, no music, no background noise, just you. For many people, that idea feels uncomfortable immediately. Some feel restless, some feel anxious, some feel an urge to escape. That reaction tells us everything. We have become addicted to stimulation. So much so that silence now feels unsafe. When the noise stops, the mind panics. When distraction disappears, the body tightens. But this discomfort is not danger. It is withdrawal. Your system has been overstimulated for so long that stillness feels foreign. Here is the psychological truth. Your nervous system is exhausted, not because you are weak, not because you lack discipline, not because you are failing at life, but because you have been living in a constant state of alert. Every notification demands attention. Every comparison demands evaluation. Every motivational message demands improvement. Your body does not understand motivation the way your mind does. To the nervous system, constant motivation feels like constant pressure. Pressure keeps the system in survival mode. And survival mode was never meant to be permanent. When pressure never stops, the body begins to store it. And stored pressure becomes trauma. From a psychological perspective, silence activates the parasympathetic nervous system. This is the system responsible for rest, digestion, repair, and healing. When silence enters your life, cortisol levels begin to drop. Breathing slows. Heart rate steadies. Muscles soften. The brain shifts its rhythm from beta waves, the state of doing, planning, thinking, worrying, into alpha and theta waves, the states associated with emotional processing, creativity, and healing. This is not poetry. This is biology. Your body knows how to heal itself when it is no longer under attack. Motivation tells you to fix yourself. Silence shows you there is nothing broken. Motivation says you must become more. Silence reveals that you already are. Now let us look beyond psychology. Across cultures, religions, and spiritual traditions, one truth appears again and again. The answer is not outside you. It is within. And it can only be heard when the noise stops. The Buddha did not awaken through effort alone. He awakened through stillness. Jesus did not find truth through productivity. He entered silence. The Prophet Muhammad withdrew from the noise of the world into the cave of Hira. These were not escapes. They were initiations. Silence was not a break from their spiritual work. Silence was the work. When silence deepens, something extraordinary happens. The ego begins to soften. That constant inner voice that narrates your life starts to quiet down. The voice that says you should be further ahead, you should be better by now, you should have figured this out, loses its grip. And beneath it, something vast emerges. A presence, a witnessing awareness, a sense of being without effort. Some call it consciousness. Some call it the soul. Some call it God. The name does not matter. What matters is this. It has always been there, waiting. Motivation operates on lack. It tells you you are not enough yet, that peace comes later, that happiness must be earned. Silence operates on wholeness. It demands nothing. It reveals truth. Modern psychology is beginning to recognize a painful pattern. The constant pursuit of self-improvement can become its own form of suffering. This is known as the self-improvement trap. You read more books, you listen to more podcasts, you follow more routines, and yet you never arrive. Because the system does not want you to arrive. It survives by keeping you striving, always reaching, never resting. Silence breaks that cycle. In silence, you are not becoming someone else. You are simply being. And in being, the nervous system reorganizes. The mind integrates. The spirit exhales. Your body knows how to heal itself. Your mind knows how to process pain. Your spirit knows how to return home. But healing does not happen through force. It happens through permission. Silence is surrender. Not surrender as weakness, surrender as trust. Trust that rest is not laziness. Trust that slowing down is not failure. Trust that you do not have to push to be worthy. Trust that sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is rest. Neuroscience supports what mystics always knew. Silence changes the brain. Periods of silence have been shown to stimulate cell growth in the hippocampus, the region responsible for memory and emotional regulation. Silence does not just calm you, it rebuilds you at a cellular level. But silence does something else, something harder. Without distraction, you meet yourself. The real you, the grief you postponed, the anger you suppressed, the fear you escaped through busyness. Motivation tells you to outrun pain. Silence asks you to sit with it, and sitting is where healing begins. Spiritually, this is purification. Not because you are impure, but because you are clearing space. Space for truth, space for peace, space for authenticity. The mystics called this the dark night of the soul, a place where answers disappear, where identity dissolves, where control is lost. And yet, this is where transformation begins. You cannot think your way into healing. You cannot optimize your way into wholeness, because sometimes the mind is the problem, not the solution. Silence brings you beneath the mind, into the body, into the breath, into presence. We have turned productivity into morality. We believe rest must be earned, that worth equals output, and we wonder why anxiety is everywhere. Silence is the antidote. It resets the system. It grounds the soul. It reminds you who you are. Practically, silence is simple. 10 minutes without your phone, a walk without headphones, a meal without distraction. At first it feels wrong. Let it. Discomfort is not danger. Stay. Over time, silence changes. It stops feeling empty. It begins to feel full. Psychology calls this integration. Spirituality calls it awakening. But really, it is remembering. You are not a project. You are not a problem. You are a living, breathing miracle. And sometimes the most profound act is being still and knowing that you are enough.